Philadelphia finally got the Tampa Bay Monkey off their back with an impressive win on the road versus Baker and the Bucs. But all eyes now focus on Kevin Patullo and the passing attack for A.J. Brown's latest post-game comments. Plus, Saquon Barkley speaks on the running game issues. Quinyon Mitchell backs up his trash talk with an all-pro performance. Jihaad Campbell saves the day once again for the Birds. Thomas Mott, this is the Thomas Mott Show. Philadelphia just walked right into Tampa Bay in 100-degree weather and dropped 31 points on Baker and the red-hot Bucs to vault to 4-0. And yet, despite all of that, you'd think the Birds were 0-4, with how abysmal the offense has looked at times, including another horrific second half on Sunday that resulted in A.J. Brown finally speaking out. Throw in some injuries, a struggling running game, and an unreal day from Jihaad and Q, you have all the makings of a very dramatic upcoming week for the Birds. Still, though, Philadelphia is 4-0. They did win on Sunday, and that means we must celebrate with another Jordan Spector art giveaway. This, my personal favorite, Jalen Hurts, the Lombardi Trophy. If you want to win this bad boy, drop a like on today's video, be subscribed, and leave a comment down below. Go and give me your biggest takeaway from the 4-0 start. Oh, and I did already hear from the last touchdown comment winner for the second DeJean picture, so he got it. He's good to go. Now, as much as I would love to talk about how great the offense looked in the first half, how incredible the defense was at times, we must start with the second half and, more importantly, A.J. Brown. Philadelphia exited halftime with a huge lead and over 200 yards of offense, only to go the entire second half with just 33 total yards and 0 completed passes. The Birds have now gone back-to-back weeks where the offense is completely shut down for at least 2 quarters. It's not like they are technically moving the football a little bit and then punting. They literally cannot move the football at all for 2 quarters versus the Rams last week and now 2 whole quarters versus the Bucs on Sunday. This is clearly a serious problem, and the guys internally definitely know it.
Kind of crazy we go from last week to this week, but I love the way we started. We just got to find ways in the second half to continue the extended drives. But when we break it down on the sideline, it's as simple as 1 block away. Somebody not executing them. Those are drive killers, those are momentum killers, and we need to do a better job for our defense to extend drives so they're not out there in the heat.
The way we played the second half this week and the way we played the first half last week, especially on offense, we won't have a hard time winning football games. So we just got to continue to improve, continue to gel, find, I hate using this word, but identity within offense and in the run game. And that's what the season's for. We're going to continue to get better. And we got guys that want to continue to get better and want to be great, and it's going to continue to buy in. So just look forward to next week.
But clips of Saquon Barkley and Jordan Mailata saying the offense needs to get better, that's one thing. However, A.J. Brown post-game, he didn't say much, but I think he took it a little bit further. A.J. finished the day with just 2 catches for 7 yards. That's, of course, 1 week removed from the 100-yard explosion in the second half versus the Rams. And after the game, he politely declined to speak to the media first at his locker, and then caused quite the stir on Twitter by tweeting out first, quote, "I love you all with all my heart," followed up by a line from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 6, which reads, quote, "If you're not welcomed, not listened to, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene. Shrug your shoulders and be on your way," which is now, honestly, likely going to be what every single media personality talks about for the next couple of days. And first off, that is a problem. Like, I love A.J. Brown, and I'm 100% behind him on this, by the way. I'll show you that in a second. But giving the media, especially the Philadelphia media, any sort of ammo is just not the right move. And I wish he would have not done this. Still, though, I get why he's upset. We'll talk about that. But A.J., if you're watching, we love you, dude. Just don't give WIP more talking points to rip this team. Still, though, in Brown's defense, I'd honestly be furious too, because 2 catches for 7 yards is 100% unacceptable. And if your first thought is, well, Thomas, he did have 9 targets, what's he complaining about? I'd counter with the clips actually of those 9 targets where it seems like every single throw is off target, out of bounds by a mile, or into way too tight of coverage. Rinse and repeat. Philadelphia isn't ignoring A.J. Brown. They're giving him his passes, but they simply are refusing to scheme him open against basically every coverage. And if I know that, and you know that, and opposing teams know that, how do you think A.J. Brown feels this morning? We're now 4 weeks into the season, and very clearly A.J. Brown is fed up with the play calling happening on offense. Like, Kevin Patullo has had 4 different weeks to figure out how to scheme A.J. Brown open, and all he can do for him so far are go balls, 5-yard stops, and 5-yard ins. And if I was A.J. Brown, again, and that was the route tree that I was getting, and these are the play calls that we are having time and time again, I would be just as frustrated. I mean, if A.J. Brown was running wide open and Hurts was missing him, maybe we could shift some blame off of KP and onto Hurts. That's honestly not the case. And while no one inside the building will straight up admit it to the media, I do think Jordan Mailata's quick note here on changing things up, or lack thereof, speaks volumes for the issues currently facing Kevin Patullo.
I think we have to do a better job up front at executing, but also, again, if we know that they're going to load the box, let's kind of see how we can pick them apart, whether we run more play actions. But I think it all starts with us up front, with the execution. And I think, again, you look at the plays, we're always one away, and that is such a big momentum killer and drive killer.
It's one thing if A.J. Brown had one bad game and then he got upset, it'd be like, okay, dude, just calm down a little bit, your time will come. But he's now only had 2 good quarters out of the first 16 to start the NFL season. 2 out of 16. Those numbers are terrible, it's awful, and everybody, including obviously myself and you, are noticing it and seeing it. And plus, it's not just A.J. Brown. Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, and Devonta Smith had 10 targets in the first half for 97 yards and 2 touchdowns. They had a combined 0 targets in the entire second half. Like, we know this offense can dominate because we've seen it now for 4 of the past 8 quarters. But going from total domination to struggling to complete a single pass is such a wild swing that should be completely unacceptable for an offense of this caliber. And again, everybody knows it.
Listen, we got a lot to clean up, but to be 4-0, that's good. What we talked about was don't let good get in the way of great. So we got a lot to clean up. We'll enjoy this. Again, I feel like I broke a record. We'll enjoy this tonight. We'll enjoy this in the locker room. We'll enjoy it on the plane. And then tomorrow's going to be tough for all of us.
Now, of course, let me just emphasize here, I've seen the comments of, trade A.J. Brown. We don't use him. He's a diva. Get him out of this offense. And let me just first say the dead cap hit, it's way too high. Philadelphia is not going to trade A.J. Brown. But they do have to start using him because he's a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL. And if I was AJ, and this is going to keep happening for weeks and weeks and weeks, not saying it will, but let's say it does, then I'd probably ask for a trade as well. Still, to be positive for a second, A.J. Brown has been vocal in each of the past couple of seasons, and technically after he did so, it did work out. Think back to 2023, where Brown went off on a 6-game heater, vocalizing his frustrations with the then Brian Johnson offense, and then even last season, post-sideline library time, remember that? He absolutely lit the Steelers up. So technically, we've seen it before, and good has come from it. But I think Chad Johnson, or Chad Ochocinco, maybe had the best explanation of how A.J. Brown is likely feeling when he said this last night. Quote, "Do you understand what this does to a player's mentality? I don't think fans understand. Yes, they won the game, but the players want to contribute and help win those said games. He's been telling us this for years now. Last year, he was reading a book. You're paying me $33 million. Not only am I the number 1 wide receiver, I'm the captain of the team for a reason. Allow me to be a part of the offense." And that starts with Kevin Patullo. Kevin Patullo, allow A.J. Brown to be a part of the offense. Scheme A.J. Brown open. Don't just give him the same 3 routes and hope for the best. Make a concerted effort to get number 11 the football early, often, and in space. Do all those things, and this Eagle offense can hum and dominate everybody that they basically face, and everybody will be happy. Which actually moves on to my next point here. Let me just be clear. Do not go down to the comment section right now and say, oh, Thomas, Jalen Hurts, he's part of the problem. Jalen Hurts has now not lost a game he started and finished in over a calendar year, 18-0. And also, how can you watch Jalen Hurts literally carve up the Bucs defense in the first half on Sunday and say that he's the main problem? I mean, Jalen was 15 for 16 for 172 total yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. That's the best completion percentage in the first half of his entire career. And again, it was against a very good Bucs defense.
I thought, again, I'll have to watch the second half. And first half, he was 14. I look at the stat sheet, 15 to 16. That's good. That's pretty darn good. And then the second half, again, we didn't coach well enough. We didn't play well enough in the second half. We were able to hang on for the win because the defense was able to get us some turnovers. But second half, I'm not sure any of us played or coached to our standard there on offense.
I think honestly, from a complimentary standpoint, you couldn't ask for more in the first half. We just have to put it together as a team, and that's something that you can learn from, and that's something that will be fixed. But we're finding ways to win, and that's what it comes down to in the end.
This is why Philadelphia's offense is so frustrating, because it's not like they go good and then bad and then good and then bad. It's literally total feast or total famine. We've now seen 8 straight quarters of this, where 2 of them are really bad, 2 of them are perfect, 2 of them are really bad, 2 of them are perfect, and even though they're 4-0 and flying high, playing great defense, we'll talk about the rushing attack in a second, they have got to figure this out, because this sort of hot and cold football, it's not going to win games when it matters most against great teams come November. And it's not like it's just a passing game, because have you checked on Saquon Barkley's numbers through 4 games? Kevin Patullo is also struggling to scheme running plays for the best running back in the NFL. His 2.6 is 42nd out of 48 running backs this year, with 3.1 yards per carry, and has now gone 5 straight games without 100 yards from scrimmage. And once again, listen to Saquon Barkley post-game hint that the play calls are not adjusting to what the defense is doing, therefore shutting down the run.
You see a lot of pressure into runs. They're trying to muddy it up. They're doing a good job. That's what happens when you have the year that we have last year and you got a year of tape. We got to do a better job of adjusting to that and having answers to that. And I got to do a better job. The running game always starts with me. And I'm a big believer in that. And when the running game's going good, when the running game going bad, I got to own it. And I just got to be better. But the beauty of it is we're not running the ball too great, and we're 4-0.
I know I'm harping on Kevin Patullo, and I promise I'm going to get to the good stuff here in a second. The defense, hang on for that. But he has now successfully shut down the Birds' two best offensive weapons. And not to even mention, obviously, Dallas Goedert and Devonta Smith in the second half yesterday. No Saquon Barkley this year, no A.J. Brown this year. And on the Saquon Barkley rushing point, every single running play is an inside zone handoff straight up the middle. Like, they literally cannot scheme up any sort of external outside runs, tosses to the right, tosses to the left, get Saquon Barkley in space. It just continues to be so extremely frustrating. Still, though, if you want to be positive, I'll stop the negativity for a second and at least finish with the offense by saying this. They are, at times, showing signs of a lot of creativity and a lot of life. It's been fun. Like early in the Cowboy game, Hurts in the offense, they moved right down the field. Late in the Chiefs game, Hurts in the offense, they figured out the blitz and went ahead and won. Second half of the Rams game, Hurts, A.J. Brown, they lit up the scoreboard. Like, this is fantastic. And then even yesterday, first half, Hurts was throwing, seam routes? That's rare. And KP was getting very creative in the red zone, including the fantastic fake tush-push handoff that will literally work every single time they want to use it going forward.
Yeah, I won't get into that. Obviously, everything we do is a team effort, but it's an exciting play. Makes it pretty exciting, right? I mean, I saw when we were coming in over here, I'm watching the Ireland game. Is it Ireland? I'm watching the Ireland game, and I see this commercial on Pepsi of going, hey, when in Philly, and I don't know, did you guys see this commercial? And they're sneaking it, like, people like this play. I don't really know what to say. And then there's some things off of the play that make it really exciting.
I try really hard to not be negative after wins because winning in the National Football League is extremely hard. As the Cowboys and the Packers on Sunday Night Football, neither of them could go ahead and win that game. But I do think you can be a little extra hard on Philadelphia because of who's on the offense and where they were, a couple of months ago, seemingly at the end of 2024. But I do think in the end, they will figure things out. It's going to be okay. I'm not worried about A.J. Brown because listen to Jordan Mailata's final post-game quote here. I think he sums it up beautifully that they like what happened, but they're not satisfied, and they promise they're going to work on it and hopefully figure things out.
Points never lie. Points never lie. I was proud of how we were. I'm not concerned about last week anymore. I'm concerned about this week. I thought we played a great first half. Now we got to find ways to extend drives in the second half. But man, what a hell of a game we played today. That was a great team. The Bucs, they're not bums, and winning games down in Tampa is a big deal because we haven't won games. We've been humiliated. We've been on that side of the ball, and so this is a plus for me. Now we're not in the business to get better. Don't get me wrong. We're going to watch that film. We're going to see why we're one block away. If it's an error in communication, if it's a breakdown in detail in coaching, or if it's a technique and execution problem. Those are things we can fix because of the people we have in the room and in the locker room. But yeah, we're not going to beat ourselves, man. This is a great win. This is a great win, man. Hell of a play by our special teams, kick off the day, and then our defense. Sucks that we have to rely on them, but it's a team game, is it not? It's a team game. Now, we had their back in the first half. They had ours in the second half. Would we have liked to have played a complete game on offense? 100%. But in all honesty, what it is we're one block away.
Now, of course, to the positive, and how about the biggest saving grace for Philadelphia this year versus, say, 2023? It's got to be Vic Fangio and this defense. I mean, right now, this unit is night and day better than even the 2024 team, at least through 4 games in the season. And Quinyon Mitchell might be the best part of it because he is looking like the best cornerback in the entire NFL. Yesterday, allowing just 2 catches on 9 targets for 6 yards and a career-high 90 PFF grade. Quinyon Mitchell has now become one of, if not the best cornerbacks in the entire NFL, and he's just 4 games into his second season. He shut down everybody. Week 1, Week 2, Week 3, Week 4. These are very, very good passing offenses, great elite receivers, and Q is not allowed a touchdown and absolutely shut down each opposing team's best wide receiver. He's looking like an all-pro right now, at best a Pro Bowler, or at minimum, I should say. he is going to be an absolute threat the rest of the season, and we're lucky to have a true number one shutdown cornerback in the NFL. On the flip side, without Keely Ringo, his first start of the season, he wasn't terrible on Sunday, as at least he successfully did not give up a big play all day long. Like, sure, the tackling and penalties, they remain a massive problem. This dude cannot tackle, but my expectations were very low for number 7, and he definitely exceeded them. Philadelphia's defense was lights out on Sunday. Like, take away the 2 explosive plays over the top, basically blown coverages by rookies in Makuba and Campbell, and Vic Fangio holds Baker Mayfield and the red-hot Bucs to under 17 points. And this is a blowout win, barring those 2 deep shots. This defense is so dialed in, and we're just 4 weeks into the season. It could get really scary for opposing offenses and opposing quarterbacks, I don't know, halfway through the season, or especially once we get to December.
Oh, yeah, it's big. At the end of the day, I just said this in my head. I'd rather, have a bad game with a dub than have 6 sacks with a loss, So at the end of the day, you see everybody smile. They over there doing a shadow box and Saquon and them, it just smiles on people's faces. And that's what I'd rather have than, trying to just do solos out there. I'd rather play as a team and, we eat off each other.
And staying with those rookies, Jihaad Campbell, despite the touchdown to Bucky Irving, he still finished with 2 of the clutchest turnovers of the entire season. He probably saved the entire game and was incredible all day long. This guy is clearly the leader for Defensive Rookie of the Year, and the Birds found an absolute superstar at inside linebacker.
I'm not sure who they credited the fumble to to Jihaad. So that's 2 turnovers that he created. Pretty good. Obviously he's going to want some plays back that he had. That was a good play that Baker and Irvin had together. 2 really good players on that side to create an explosive. But, anytime you're able to turn the ball over twice, that makes a big difference in the game. I think he's just continuing to get better with how he takes on blocks, with how he's tackling, with how he's understanding the defense.
That happens, right? It's football. He's in the NFL too for a reason, but, on my behalf, I got to be way better than that. It's a plastic joke, so I got to just be a better situational guy enough. Maybe shove him out of bounds and maybe just get stickier coverage on him. I ain't really upset about it. Just go back to the drawing board and get better. For me personally, I'm always excited to just find new ways to get better, right? And, just have those guys and those vets that's around me to help me get better as well, so.
I will say, however, the front 4, they're starting to get more pressure, but the sacks, they are just not coming. I've been saying this for 4 weeks now, but the guys up front are not getting enough push to disrupt passers. So we need to definitely keep an eye on moving forward. I know Nolan Smith is out right now, but Vic Fangio, he's dialing up a lot more pressure because he knows the front 4 cannot get to the quarterback. I will say, though, the special teams on Sunday, absolutely fantastic, mainly led by Cameron Latu, because this guy is making all sorts of plays for Michael Clay's unit. The block punt touchdown to start the game, that ended up being the difference. That was incredible. The entire day, Latu is blocking well, making tackles, and of course the block punt is starting to put his hat in the ring for the best special teams player on Philadelphia, and maybe if he keeps it up, a Pro Bowler by the end of the year. Finally, though, some quick hitters here, and the penalties, I must say, they have got to stop. Philadelphia had 8 of them for 83 yards. I know the taunting stuff is dumb, the Coop one, you guys know it's ridiculous, but just don't even give the refs a reason to throw the flag moving forward. The penalties, the undisciplined play, that's got to be fixed, and Nick Sirianni knows it.
It's an emotional game, and I feel like I'm saying the same thing here, but again, we got to play within the rules of the game, and we can't worry about if I think a penalty. Now, maybe I'm arguing on the side of hey, that one looked a lot like Coops, and you didn't call it. That's besides the point. We have to play to the rules of our game, so if they're going to call it that close, we got to respect the rules of the game.
Lastly, injury update here. Lane Johnson, he missed basically the entire second half once again following his injury last week. And early reports indicated it was a stinger neck issue that was later changed to a shoulder. Something to definitely keep an eye on because there's no secret the Philadelphia offense did struggle once again when Lane Johnson was out of the lineup.
It's tough. It's tough, man. We got to get him healthy. It's what I'm seeing. He's our old man now. He's the old man on our team now. So we got to get him right. But we have total faith in the guys next up. So
overall, Philadelphia, they're 4-0. They're the last remaining NFC unbeaten team, and they still have not played 4 good quarters of football, but have beaten 4 really, really good teams. The Cowboys, the Chiefs, obviously the Rams last week are fantastic, and now the Bucs. And so there's plenty to be positive about. I just can't keep watching the Eagles and ignoring the fact that the offense just doesn't know what they're doing. And I really think that comes down to Kevin Patullo. I know it's a unit effort. They will all say we got to block better, we got to pass better, we got to run better, and that's true. But Kevin Patullo has got to figure out ways to scheme A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith and Saquon Barkley. That way this offense can reach its goals. And I think that's why Eagle fans are so frustrated on a Monday, including myself, because we know This team can be fantastic. We saw the first half versus the Bucs and the second half versus the Rams. We just need to see that for 4 straight quarters. And once they do, we're all going to love Kevin Patullo. We're all going to love Sirianni and Jalen Hurts and the offense. It'll be no problem. But if they keep struggling to the point of 0 completed passes in an entire half, we're going to be frustrated because we just won a Super Bowl. We have the same basic team. The defense might be even better, and they already started 4-0. They just have to prove to us that they can do it for 4 straight quarters, and then I think most of us will go ahead and buy back in. Either way, give me your thoughts down below. Of course, the Jordan Spector art giveaway is happening later on this week. That is the Jalen Hurts picture here. It's fantastic. Also, if you want to pick one up yourself, use promo code TMOT10. I'll link it all down below, and he gives us 10% off for all of my Thomas Mott Show fans to pick up his art pieces. Love working with Jordan Spector. Some pretty cool stuff happening with him in the next couple of days. He's doing a new launch. We'll talk about that in the future whenever it's official. Either way, Birds are 4-0. Get pumped. Denver this week. A lot of injuries to go ahead and break down. Be an interesting next couple of days. See what the media does with A.J. Brown and Thomas Mott. This has been the Thomas Mott Show.